everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. We're here for day 10 of Junk Journal January, and the prompt today is intricate. So I wanted to do something that was kind of, intricate, but not so much so that like I can't do it in a video, right? Like immediately my mind goes to creating some kind of a sculpture out of like a book and like cutting all these intricate, something sculptural. And then I'm like, no, I can't do that for this video. So what I want to do is something that is simple but has intricacies. So I'm starting with I have a bunch of these pieces of like watercolor paper stationery, and I want to use that as a background. So that's just going to hang out for a bit. And then I grabbed this book this book page of this bird, and I'm going to cut it out. I'm just going to fussy cut it, and then we're going to work with that as kind of our focal point for what I want to do with the intricate patterns. So I will just cut this out. Maybe I will pause for just a moment while I'm cutting, and then I will come back and we'll begin to work on what I'm doing today. Okay, so I've cut out the bird as well as her egg, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and glue them right down because they aren't part of like the whole intricacy part of this that I want to try to include. And just be warned, I've never done this technique before that I'm going to experiment with, so this is going to be new. Now, why did I choose this bird? Because the shape of the bird, the way that it's positioned, it's going to give me a little bit of space to work with up above it, and its wing is going up this way. That is what I was hoping to get, or some kind of another, like a bird in flight with their wing kind of soaring up away from their body. So I wanted something where I could kind of go the next step with that that shape. Okay, so let's get rid of all the sticky now, all the sticky pages and all the sticky everything. Okay, so this is all good. Now I'm going to need art glitter glue, I think, for this project. Okay, so what I want to do is now take my cutter, and I want to get a bunch of little strips of Bookpage here that have words on them. And I'm thinking, I wish that I had kept like all of the last several books that I've, trimmed, or all the end kind of snippings that I've taken off of the last several like pages that I've played with when I'm trimming down signatures, but I did not keep them. Oopsie. Yeah, little pop there. That's okay. So I just want to try to create some strips. Just think of how many times, you've had a bunch of strips left over when you're making a journal and you're cutting all your pages down to size. Hopefully for you, you'll already have some if you try this technique. Okay. I have a few here. I'll get started with those so that I don't keep you sitting and waiting for me. Alright, so the idea that I want to use here is I want to try to make like a bit of an intricate tail for this bird. And I want to start here at the back, and I'm just going to do like a glue blob that is big enough for me to be able to like stick one end in and then the other end back up again. Like so. And I'm going to lay them beside one another because they both need to stick on here. I don't want them to not be glued enough. And I may not need quite so much glue. We'll see. Okay, so that is the first one. Now we're going to be coming back and having to do some trimming here. So I just want to squish them down a little bit and then kind of pull them forward so I can do the next layer back here. Just laying this one down the same way. And I feel like this kind of a technique, it's just sort of celebrating, you know, all the fun that we have with using books and book pages for our projects. Because, like, I don't know, I like to think about all of the opportunity that books give us to be creative. And this is sort of like using them in their natural kind of form as a creative material. Okay, so now we have 2 layers. Then I'm going to just come in here and I'm going to tip up these edges and push them back and decide if I want to keep them or trim them. I think I may keep them, and I'm going to maybe add a little ink to them later, but not yet. So I'll more than likely like go along with the colors. Well, maybe I'll add a little, hold on. Let's add a little brown. Because there's a little brown there. But then I've also got this, the Selvage Patina, which I think the body has a little bit of bluiness to it. So you can add some of this blue. There we go. Right, and then I'm going to keep on going, and then I'm going to flatten these down, bring them forward again so that I can add the next layer of glue. And like, you can follow the natural shape here of the wings, so you don't have to feel like, you know, I'm not an artist, I don't know how to draw the shape of the bird. It's okay, you don't need to. That's why you've got the basis of a bird there to help you. So just fold it on down. And you can tear the white ends off. That's what I'm doing, so I get mostly words. Sorry if you can hear all sorts of thumping and thundering around. That would be my kiddos. Oops, one more in this row. I think this is going to be a really fun prompt to watch everyone's videos. Like, what is intricate to you? I sort of wanted to do something like intricate but doable, right? So now I'm just looking at like the shape that I'm getting, and I think the next row here I'm going to go a little more narrow. I'm going to give a little more space in between my layers because I don't like feel like I need to have a ton of layers. I don't need this to be really, 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 really thick. Where's my pen here? Right there. I'm just going to continue with like ripping the ends to get rid of the white space and just to use the words. And you can probably fold them a little bit even before you lay them down if that's easier for you. Okay, now we'll come back in and just kind of lay this down, just smoosh it down. There we go. Don't be afraid of it like getting smushy and stuff. I think that's totally fine. All right, we need, I think, maybe one more layer, and it'll be a little thinner. Okay. All right, now squish it one more time. Okay, yay. Okay, I think that's really fun. So, you know, intricate, but also simple, right? Like, I feel like a project like this, somebody might look at that and just be a little mesmerized by what they're seeing because they're recognizing it, you know, as Bookpage. But like overall, it wasn't too complicated. It didn't take too long. It won't be bulky to lay down in a journal because, you know, if you look at it like this, when you squish it down, when it lays against the next page, you know, it's going to, and like literally it's fine. You can do that with it. See, it's not going to be super bulky in your journal. So that is my take on intricate. I think it's fun, and it's like a simple way to do something that looks like quite effective, I think, and quite artsy and interesting. I also like the idea of just the simple background because it feels to me like it makes a crossover between like art and a scientific kind of model drawing. So that's my idea for intricate. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again tomorrow for Junk Journal January.